What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Yesterday we did a video where we rebuilt the Brooklyn Nets around Cameron Thomas, which was just a fun little video, but I had a couple comments in yesterday's video asking me to do a similar kind of video with Scottie Barnes on the Raptors. So today that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and make Scottie Barnes the #1 option here. We're going to rebuild the Toronto Raptors around Scottie Barnes today. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. I don't know if we want to make this a series where we just kind of rebuild around certain players. Like obviously Scottie Barnes is a guy that the Raptors should be rebuilding around. Cameron Thomas, on the other hand, you could probably easily make the argument that that's not a guy you should be building around, but Scottie Barnes is someone I think you definitely can if you're trying to be maybe a championship team or contender one day. So this video kind of is fine, right? But if there's like another team that there's a guy on there that's just kind of interesting and you want me to rebuild the team around him, go ahead and comment down below. I think this kind of video is kind of fun anyway. So yeah, just go ahead and comment if you have anybody else as an idea. But the way we're going to do this is I feel like to unlock Scottie Barnes, I think we have to trade Siakam. I think we have to move on from Siakam. And I know Raptors fans are very passionate about their players. They love them. And I get that part. So whatever trade I do with Pascal Siakam will not be good enough. And I am very aware of that. So just don't get too upset with when we trade him. I don't know what I'm going to get for him, but we'll see. But I feel like it's necessary. OG Anunoby, on the other hand, I feel like is a role player that could stick around. We might end up keeping him. Of course, you have the Jakob Poeltl, Gary Trent, Schroeder, Chris Boucher. But we're going to do everything we possibly can to make Scottie Barnes the guy here. Obviously, rookie season was great. Sophomore year didn't really take a jump, but this year he's been really good so far. So this is why this video is very necessary. But let's go ahead and just start this first season. We're not going to really do much of anything. I'm kind of curious to see how the record's going to go, and I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. But I guess the first thing we need to do is we need to boost Scottie Barnes' shot tendency up, right? We need to make sure he is the guy here. So I'm going to push him over Pascal Siakam, and we're going to give him like something like that. Those are the numbers we'll roll with for year #1. I'll see you guys either at the trade deadline or in the off season. It kind of depends on how we're doing. If we're really good, then maybe I'll just go in the playoffs with how we're doing. And if we're like struggling, kind of a mid team, then we should probably just try to trade Siakam, who's on an expiring contract anyway. As you guys already know, today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. Basically, you go into PrizePicks, and this is what it looks like. You are choosing the over and the under on the projection that it gives you. They have sports other than just basketball. They have NHL, NFL, MMA, tennis. Like, they have all kinds of interesting sports. A lot of stats you can choose from here as well with these NBA players. Basically, as I said, you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times their entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times their entry. But for example, if you think Jordan Poole is going to score less than 21 points tonight, then you go ahead and click less on it. If you think Brendan Miller is going to do really good tonight, you go more on his projection at 15 points. It's basically that simple. It just obviously gives you an extra sweat while you watch basketball games. It's a lot of fun. If you want to sign up for PrizePicks, use code Crushables. Link is down in the description below. They match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. So thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. So we are indeed stopping the trade deadline because we are not very good at all according to the 2K simulation. We're 16-35 on the season so far, so we are really struggling. This is what it looks like so far. Scottie Barnes is averaging 21, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And then Siakam is only averaging 16 behind him. Gary Trent with 13, 11 from OG, and then Dennis Schroeder with 10. To be honest with you, though, 2 guys I actually really like keeping around is Gary Trent and OG Anunoby. I think are actually like perfect fits around Siakam, or not Siakam, Barnes. So I think I'm cool with keeping him because Barnes is more of like a point forward that should have the ball in his hands quite a bit. And I feel like Siakam just doesn't gel with Barnes as much as I think he can, basically. Or I just don't think the two fit the greatest in the world. It's not terrible, but it's not like the best either. So I easily want to trade Siakam here while he's on a 1-year deal. I'm cool with keeping OG and Gary Trent as like the 2 and the 3 going forward, for sure, because that would actually, yeah, we could slide OG down in the 3. Barnes can obviously go back to the 4, and then or you can keep him at the 3. Either way, we'll figure it out. But so let's go ahead and see what we can get for Siakam. As I said, don't even know what his trade value is. Masai Ujiri obviously loves getting as much as he can for his players. I might just use the trade finder and take the best players that I think fit around Scottie Barnes, just kind of to relegate things here, because I just don't really know what Siakam. I feel like I know Masai would ask for a lot, so I'm just not really sure if he's going to trade him. Obviously, we know Masai is very stubborn and does not like to make trades unless he's getting a king's ransom. But regardless, let's just take a look at what's here. So first off, we got Tobias Harris, Mo Bamba. Not really loving that one. Capella Bogdan, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Jalen Brunson, Markelle Fultz, and Jonathan Isaac. Now, these trades aren't going to be the most realistic in the world, but I do want to make them somewhat realistic. So yeah, let's just, kind of keep that in mind. Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown, Susan McCollum, Jose Alvarado, Bo Dunn, Fred VanVleet. We get a Spurs pick, top 3 protected in 2024, and Trey Jones. I don't hate that one. Actually don't mind this trade at all, but I would probably want more first round picks if I'm going to do this trade. San Antonio goes forward with Victor Wembanyama this year, who's really good. Bradley Beal, Lou Dort, Rudy Gobert, Malcolm Brogdon, and Thibault, Klay Thompson, and then Kyle Kuzma. So to be honest with you, I mean, I love the Brunson trade, don't get me wrong. And I said, you know, Brunson would be great as a guy that could be like the second option to Barnes, but at the same magnitude, as I said, I want to keep it somewhat in the realistic ballpark. Right now, I'm kind of liking this trade the most, where we just kind of, you know, get a clean slate of Siakam's contract. But I would want more first if I'm going to do this. So we're going to try to get more first out of them if possible. Is it going to let me? I have no idea, but we're going to try. So let's even get like 3 first round picks. And instead of Trey Jones, is there anybody else I can get instead? Like anybody out here that might be a little bit better to get? I don't know if there is. So like Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, Vassell, who just got paid, Sohan, obviously, Devontae Graham. Honestly, I'll just take Trey Jones and 3 first for Siakam, and I'd be happy with that. They want Scottie Barnes. Obviously, we can't do that trade, so we're not going to do that. We'll remove this one, and let's try to get like a later first from like 2026 and see what they say about that. They're still going to ask for Barnes. I think they're absolutely crazy. Instead of Trey Jones, can you give me like, I don't know, Devontae Graham? I'm cool with just taking the first round picks for Siakam and calling it a day. I don't know if they'll do this though. They're not going to agree to that. 3 first for him. They want Grady Dick. Grady Dick's another guy I actually like going forward, so I'm not going to trade him either. Although they did throw in Charles, which I don't hate. I'll give you Otto Porter though. I'm willing to throw in Otto Porter if that's what is going to change the deal for you. Charles, we're not there. So how much was Grady Dick making? Grady Dick is making $4 million. So let's say it's Flynn instead, I guess. Okay, so they had to throw in Charles, right? So let's say it's this. What about this for Siakam? They don't agree. I'll even throw in a second round pick. Don't know if that's going to make a difference. Grady Dick is still being in here. None of these trades so far are working. I don't really want to trade Grady Dick, unfortunately. So I'm going to just try to make up my own trade with somebody. I just kind of want a clean slate Siakam. I mean, unless I get a player that I think is going to fit great, I'll go figure something out. Another interesting trade idea I have in my head is the idea of swapping Pascal Siakam for Jarrett Allen. I think Jarrett Allen would actually be a great fit next to Scottie Barnes for the rest of the video. I know we have Jakob Poeltl, but Jakob Poeltl does not do as good as Jarrett Allen does in the simulation. Jarrett Allen puts up way better numbers, and I feel like it's a little disrespectful to Jakob Poeltl for sure. But it's the reality of what it is in 2K, so that's kind of what we're basing it off of. So I don't know if they would do this, because I feel like the Cavaliers maybe would potentially like to slide Mobley down to the 5, and they could have Siakam at the 4 next to him. I think that could be a really nice team over there in Cleveland. So let's see what they say to this idea. They don't agree. If we took out the first round pick and just swapped it, they're still not going to do it. Obviously here, let's do this for them. So let's say we moved Evan Mobley, because obviously they don't like that, how it affects their center position, but Evan Mobley would slide down to the 5 for them. So let's say if I did this for them, if this would change their mind at all. So let's say Evan Mobley's the 5 now there. And then now we could talk about this again. So it was Siakam and Otto Porter, which I think are 2 guys that could help Cleveland out, obviously, if they were going to, try to change things. So Jarrett Allen, and I throw and you give me Karis LeVert. Let's say what they say to that. They want Thaddeus Young. They'll give me Isaac Okoro. I think we do this trade. Obviously, I would love to get a first round pick out of this, but I think getting Jarrett Allen for Siakam is not bad. So I'm going to do this trade. Sorry if that, upsets you as a Raptors fan. But now that we have Jakob Poeltl, I think we can go ahead and flip him for first, which is what my goal is ultimately here. I just feel like Jarrett Allen does much better than Jakob Poeltl does in simulation at the end of the day, which sucks to say that, but it's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. So can someone just give me a first round pick? I mean, we're not a rush. We could trade Poeltl in the offseason, so I'll just wait until the offseason. But everybody's gassed apparently right now. I usually play with fatigue off, so I'm going to turn that off. But I'm going to go ahead and simulate the rest of the season. Obviously, that was the first step to try to get, to build around Scottie Barnes. Jarrett Allen's not going to score as much. Not going to take the ball away from Scottie Barnes as much. So I think that was a great first step to trying to, make Barnes the guy for the future. So at the end of year 1, Jokic wins MVP, Vic Rookie of the Year, Chris Paul 6th Man, Claxton Defensive Player, Paul Reed Most Improved, and Booker Clutch Player of the Year, and Darvin Ham Coach of the Year. Harrison is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. Obviously, one of my goals throughout this video is going to get Scottie Barnes on one of these teams. That'd be really cool if we can get that to happen. But we did not make the playoffs, nor did we make the play-in this year. It was just kind of a down year for us, but obviously we're building towards trying to build around Barnes. So I'm not too upset about it. We also extended Gary Trent at the extension deadline, so he is going to stay. OG has to be paid this offseason. Jarrett Allen, of course, is here to stay. And then Levert, we'll figure out what we're going to do with some of these other contracts. I feel like we could maybe make a big trade. We're going to try to trade Jakob Poeltl for first-round picks. And then I think what we'll do is we'll try to get a point guard who I think is going to fit long-term here next to Barnes. Because right now, I think we kind of have a starting shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. Now we need to find the perfect point guard to pair next to Scottie Barnes. And in my opinion, we're going to need a point guard who can score, because we're going to need like a secondary scorer, but someone who's not going to like take away from Barnes too much. Like I can't go get a Luka Doncic, obviously, something like that. But we need to go out there and get somebody that's going to make sense. So Cleveland almost got beat by Milwaukee in round 1, but they still got beat by Miami. You got Miami, Denver, and hey, the Heat go on to beat Denver this time. They won the championship. Retirements, got Udonis Haslam, Love, all of them retiring. Let's go straight to the lottery. I don't remember if I have our pick here. It actually might be going to the Spurs. I literally cannot remember. I think it's like top 10 protected. Actually not sure, but I think 2K has protections correct. So let's see if we keep our pick or not. We do not, I think. Yeah, so the Spurs get our pick, unfortunately. It might have been top 5. I don't remember. But yeah, we don't have our first round pick this offseason. Staff signing. Darko just got here, so I'm not going to fire him. We can give him another chance. And then we're going to go ahead and fill these 2 positions out here. And then we'll go straight to figuring out what we're going to do next. So I don't think we have a draft pick at all. But as I said, I do want to trade Jakob Poeltl for a couple firsts here if possible. I think a contending team would definitely trade a couple firsts for Jakob Poeltl. I definitely could see that. So let's see. We got Max Strus in a first. I don't really want to deal with Cleveland again. Someone just give me a couple firsts. We call it a day. Mitch Robinson in a first round pick. We give up Koloko though. Cam Thomas, who was just in yesterday's video, obviously. And then Robert Williams. Okay. So I kind of like the trade with the Knicks, where we get Mitch Robinson. We also get a first-round pick. We have to give up Koloko, unfortunately. But let's say you gave me... let's see if I can find a way to get pick 11. Jakob Poeltl... Actually, they can't just take him. Damn. Oh, do they have Fournier's contract still? They have DiVincenzo. That's not going to work. Okay. There's got to be somebody that has like a bad $18 million contract they can use to give to us, right? Let's see. There's somebody out there that has it. I know... Obviously, immediately comes to mind Duncan Robinson, Lou Dort. You got Nurkic. Don't really want Nurkic. Zach Collins, who just got paid. Dylan Brooks, we could take his contract on. Marvin Bagley. I know Detroit could maybe use like... I mean, they have Jalen Duren, though. So maybe make like the most sense in the world. Milwaukee, if they think Brook Lopez is washed, maybe they'd be entertaining that. But I don't really want Brook Lopez. Lonzo just got in yesterday's video, so I'm not going to do that. Max Strus. Derek White. I could see the Celtics maybe being interested in, obviously... Jakob Poeltl. They could slide Porzingis down to the 4. We take Derek White, who I actually don't mind as our like 6-man point guard. Kind of feeling this trade. Let's say we did Derek White, but I would love to get a first from them, but I doubt they're gonna say yes to this. So yeah, they're not gonna do it. So Derek White, not gonna be an option. All right, I gotta cook up a trade for Jakob Poeltl, because right now I'm not seeing much of anything. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but what about the Dallas Mavericks? They have Tim Hardaway's contract. We take their 2026 unprotected. What do you say? They want to make it a pick swap. I'll take a later first if I have to, a lesser first in the future. They want a couple seconds. We get Maxi Kleber as a throw-in. We get a first-round pick for Jakob Poeltl. I guess I'll be happy with that. We take Hardaway's contract. So first-round pick for Jakob Poeltl, unprotected in the future. We're going to try to use that to upload, or, not upload, to go get a point guard. Now, I'm not really sure who that is just yet, but we're going to go look around the league and see. Pretty sure no draft picks in the draft. We got an extra pick now we can use, which is nice. And we have a bunch of salaries, like a ton of salaries that we can use at our disposal. A couple young players still here. So what point guard do we want? Let's go take a look at point guards that might make sense for us to put next to Barnes. So point guards, we got, we can even, point guard, shooting guard, because sometimes guys can obviously slide over if we need them to. So let's go player finder. Let's do this correctly this time. There we go. Looking at all the guards around the league, obviously at the top of the guys, we're going to, skip around or skip away from. So Halliburton, I kind of like the idea of. I'm not going to lie. I like the idea of Halliburton. Jamal Murray, who got injured, just recently. LaMelo Ball, Bradley Beal, Maxey, Klay Thompson, Desmond Bane. Jonathan Murray, I don't hate. Cade Cunningham, Chris Paul, Hero, Fred VanVleet, who was just, obviously in Toronto. Josh Giddey. Kind of like the idea of Josh Giddey. I'm not going to lie. 17 points per game, 8 rebounds. He always leaves Oklahoma City anyway in 2K. Not sure why. I always love Anthony Simons, but I have brought him in Toronto before, so I'm not going to do that. D'Lo, I think we're starting to get to where I don't really want to be anymore. So kind of feeling this range here. So I kind of like the idea of Halliburton, but Indiana most likely would be reluctant to trade him right now. LaMelo would be fun, but I think we probably... I kind of like the idea right now of Josh Giddey. I don't know if Oklahoma City would just let him go, though. But, I mean, him as our point guard going forward sounds kind of fun. So I want to see if Toronto or Oklahoma City would do it. Again, this isn't the most realistic thing in the world, but I'm going to try it anyway. So Josh Giddey, I have a bunch of salaries, obviously, that I don't need to trade for Giddey. But let's just say we throw in some of these guys. So, like, I'll throw in Koloko, and I'll throw in this Mavericks pick. I'll throw in this 2025. And then let's see if they say yes to that. They don't agree. Obviously, Oklahoma City loves their picks. Let's go 3 first. So they're not going to agree to that. Do we have anybody we could throw in here? Do I have to throw Grady? I would prefer not to throw Grady Dick in here, but I might have to. If Grady Dick is going to be the guy that can get me Giddey, then I think I'm cool with it. So let's say we remove one of the first round picks. Have Grady Dick in there. They agree. Okay, we remove one first. We trade Grady Dick. It sucks to lose him, but I think getting Josh Giddey makes it worth it. Giddey is our brand new point guard, someone I don't trade for ever, because obviously Oklahoma City is most likely going to keep him. But I like the idea of Giddey being the point guard next to Scottie Barnes going forward. I kind of like it. So spacing may not be the best, but those guys can shoot when they need to. But player options, let's go straight to player options. So we got OG Anunoby declining. Obviously, we got to go ahead and accept him. Achua, Malachi Flynn, Isaac Okoro, who I forgot we got as a throw-in that trade. We're going to extend the qualifying offers on them. And then we need to figure out how we're going to do this. So OG Anunoby, obviously, trade away Siakam. I plan on keeping OG. He's probably going to get a lucrative contract for somebody just because of what he can do. So we're going to go ahead and sign him to his deal. $25 million over 5 years. We'll take that. And then Achua is somebody I definitely think I want back. But let's take a look. So we have Giddey Schroeder. We have Gary Trent Levert. We have OG Tim Hardaway. We have Scottie Barnes, Boucher, and Kleba. We have Jarrett Allen. So I think we do re-sign Achua to be our backup 5, although we could sign someone else if we wanted to, like Bol Mo Bamba, but I think I'm just going to re-sign Achua. That's fine. So Achua, welcome back. Okoro, I think I want to re-sign him as well, so we're going to sign him back. He'll be our backup 3. Some of these guys that are still here, like, are not guys I'm, like, happy with going for. Like, Schroeder, I'll probably keep him. Levert, I'll keep him. Hardaway, who's probably going to regress. Boucher, Kleba. We still have a bunch of salaries. Not as many first, but player progression should, in theory, look really good. I think Giddey and Barnes should go up like crazy. We got those guys coming back, but 87, 87, even 86, which is nice. OG 84, Gary 80. Everyone is progressing. No one's going down other than Maxi Kleba. So I'm feeling very excited about this. I think we should be a good team. I think this is a team that should be a contender in the Eastern Conference. I think we've gotten that close already. The bench is pretty solid. The starting 5, I think, fits and gels really well, but we'll just kind of take a look at what 2K thinks of it. I think Scottie Barnes and Giddey as our 2 guys going forward is a lot of fun. So let's go see what that looks like. Power rank is going to land us at 10th overall. Proficiency is only 3.5 balance, which kind of sucks, but 4-star, or no, just kidding, not 4-star. So we'll just leave it at 3.5. This is what it would look like. So it's Josh Giddey, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Scottie Barnes, Jarrett Allen. I love that starting 5. I think it looks great. Okoro, Hardaway, Levert, Achua. Really good bench, and we have 2 guys not even getting minutes right now. So we do have the ability to maybe throw some salaries together and make another big trade if we wanted to at the deadline. We're going to see how things go. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 or at the deadline. At the end of year number 3, Luka wins MVP. Collier's rookie. This might be year number... Is this year number 2? I might be ahead of myself right now. I think this is year number 2. Luka MVP. Collier rookie of the year. Chris Paul 6th man. Mobley defensive player. Bones Allen most improved, and Trey is your clutch player of the year. And Steve Kerr coach of the year. And Jameson is your executive. So I'm hoping to see Scottie Barnes on one of these teams because the team was phenomenal this year. Giddey does make it. So Josh Giddey All-NBA second team. And Barnes makes an All-NBA third team. So I'm really happy to see that. 27 points per game. 7 rebounds. Giddey, on the other hand, let's see how he did. 23. So I think he's been like the perfect complement. Shot 36% from 3, while Barnes, I believe, was at 35. So not too shabby. Obviously not the best, but not the worst either. We'll take it. So we are the first in the East, which is why I decided not to make any moves at the deadline. Here are your player stats. So you had 27 from Barnes, 23 from Giddey, 14 and 10 from Jarrett Allen, 13 from Gary Trent, and 11 from OG Anunoby, 10 from Tim Hardaway, who even was pretty solid for us. 9 from Levert, 7 from Achua, and then 7 from Isaac Okoro. So all around, really solid. Now, the question is, are we going to win a championship? We get to play the team that actually won it last year, but they might have hit a regression. We shall see how this goes. I like my team. We'll see if it ends up working out for us. Somebody come around against Miami, and we are going to beat them in 5. So take care of business there, but now we do run into Philadelphia, so we might have a problem on our hands. Now, they don't have a good point guard. Their power forward position is a little interesting with, slow-mo, but I don't hate it. Maxey, obviously, D'Anthony Melton's still there, but they're starting Juan Nunez. So let's see how this goes. Then we come around, and we're going to sweep them. Okay, it looks like we might have thrown together the perfect team around Scottie Barnes. So now we have Damian Lillard, Richardson, Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Russell Westbrook. Wow, Russ and Dame as teammates sounds so weird in my head, but I guess Beverly and Russ were teammates for a second, so I guess it's possible. So we come around against Milwaukee. We're up 3-1, and we're going into the NBA Finals. So we threw together the perfect team around Scottie Barnes in one offseason. Did not expect it to gel that quickly, but it did. Giddy, triple-double in the conference finals, and now we get to play the Memphis Grizzlies. So what is Barnes doing in the playoffs so far? 29 points per game. Beautiful. And now we get to play the Grizzlies, as I said. So John Morant, Bane, Roddy, Jaren Jackson, Adam Smart, Porter, Clark, and Aldama. Do we beat the Grizzlies is the question. We're down 1-0, lose by 9 there. Down 2-0. We got this far just to get swept by the Grizzlies. Seriously, man. Damn, that sucks. Okay. So I thought we had our championship right here, but it looks like we may not. Grizzlies might even sweep us. They are. They're going to sweep us, man. Really unfortunate. Would have loved to have just gotten one right here now, but unfortunately did not work out that way. We dominated the Eastern Conference. We only lost 2 games the whole time, but John Morant and the Grizzlies had our number. So it looks like we got some work to do. LeBron retires a member of the Jazz. Interesting. Lottery time. You got Rockets getting 1 and 2, which is pretty insane. But shout out to them for that. Staff signing, Darko. We'll go ahead and leave that the way it is. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think Houston should have that Wizards pick. So I might end up fixing that, because if not, the Rockets could be really good. So we might have to, stop that in its tracks. So let's go to draft night. I'm going to go fix those picks. And then I think the only thing we really need to do this offseason is make sure our bench is fully upgraded. If we're going to upgrade a starter, it would probably be Gary Trent Jr., but I don't hate him as a fit. And, it seemed like it gelled really well last year. So I think the only thing we're going to worry about is probably the bench. So we got Barnes and Giddey, both free agents. Obviously, it's going to cost us a ton of money, but we're going to pay them both. No brainer there. So let's just make sure we get that done. So LeVert, Hardaway, Boucher, all free agents. 3 guys I might end up bringing back, but 3 guys I might just also let go. So let's just go ahead and make sure we take care of these guys first. Like, there's no brainer, no thought process. Give me both Giddey and Barnes back easily. So we're going to get those guys back. That's no brainer there. Okay. Now it's time to figure out what we're going to do with the bench. So Josh Giddey, Gary Trent, OG Anunoby have a backup 3 in Okoro, which, how did he do last year, by the way? 38% from 3. We'll take it. Kleba, someone I don't really want to keep in a Achua. So we have a backup 5. So Kleba, he can go. I mean, there's really no need for him to stick around. So if I can get like a good throw in from somebody like a Gabe Vincent, we trade a 1st round pick. We get a good backup point of Gabe Vincent. I don't hate it. Just trading a 1st for Gabe Vincent might be a little too rich, but, I wouldn't mind taking him if I'm going to get if I threw like a couple seconds instead, I'd take him. So let's say we did a couple seconds. If they're cool with this, then I'm good on it. I'm not doing a 1st round pick though. That just sounds too crazy. We'll just keep Kleba around. Okay. Free agency time. But, so it looks like we have the bird rights on pretty much like Schroeder, and then it's Alvarado, and then LeVert, Landry Shamet, Beasley, Hardaway. We got like McDaniels who was here, Duncan Robinson, Boucher, and then, okay. So, I think we're going to start with re-signing Caris LeVert. He's not asked for too much money. We're going to sign him. I think I also want to sign Jose Alvarado instead of Schroeder. We're going to sign LeVert. I'm going to sign Alvarado. And then that literally doesn't give us many options after that. So now I think it's time to... I know we could re-sign Schroeder, but I think we just simply need to trade Kleba for a 4. I think... Or we could just not even worry about it back and 4 and just run a 9 rotation with what we got. Although, don't love the bench. The bench isn't the best in the world, obviously. It's not great. LeVert, I don't hate. Okoro, obviously pretty great off the bench. Achua might even go up. So, I wouldn't hate getting a better power forward than Kleba. I'll throw a 1st rounder out there and see what this, what comes up if we do this. Gabe Vincent pops up again, but I don't think there's anything we can do. I could just re-sign Schroeder and have him as a guy we can move at the deadline. That probably might be the best thing we can do. So I'll re-sign Schroeder. So we'll do that, and then we'll have 3 point guards, and we'll figure out what to do at the deadline to upgrade the bench, probably. I think that'll be like our last, hopefully, final move to get us over the top to win a championship. So 90, 89, 85, 82, 81, 79. So it's not too bad. Kleba's down to a 72 overall. No surprise there. We have some picks. We have some salaries now. So I think at the deadline, that's where we make our move to get a really good bench player. So I have a feeling, though, this could be our year to go win a championship. We dominated the East last year. All we got to do is make sure, we beat the Grizzlies. So 4-star balanced system. Rotationally, it's going to be the same. Obviously, things are a little bit different with guys gone. But Schroeder here, Kleba's contract will be used, and then yeah, so I'm feeling pretty solid about that. Okoro 82 overall off the bench. So I will see you guys most likely at the deadline to make the final move to push this team over the top. So we're at the deadline, and I'm really liking this trader being offered here. We get Clint Capella. I mean, just getting big man that can rebound like crazy off the bench is such a cheat code in the 2K simulation that helps you win a championship. We're trading a first. We're also getting a first back in return. So we're going to go ahead and do this trade. Honestly, though, I feel like if, Capella is being given to us, I don't know why Atlanta's giving us the first. So keep this a little more realistic. We're just going to go ahead and remove that first. We'll get Capella back. So Capella, welcome to the team. Now, obviously that, we have Achua already as a backup 5, so we don't necessarily need Capella, but really good backup 5, Okoro, and then we have Levert, Achua. So now I think we could do is we could combine probably both Achua and Schroeder and get a backup point guard. So let's see if there is a backup point guard that pops up. We just can't pass up on. That's not, I meant Achua, sorry. Achua and Schroeder. Let's see if that gives me like a good elite backup point guard. So D'Anthony Melton, but obviously that's not much of a move. Mitch Robinson, more big man we don't need. Trey Lyles, Herb Jones, don't hate that one. Monte Morris, but that's not like the elite upgrade. Tyus Jones, obviously one of the better backup point guards in the NBA. Get Jock Landale as well. I mean, getting Tyus Jones with 8 points, 3 assists. Does that really move the needle? Do we do this? I don't know if it's really necessary to make this trade. It's not like a huge upgrade, but it is an upgrade nonetheless. We'll go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and lock this in. Lock this rotation in. So now our bench is looking really good with Tyus Jones, Okoro, Capella, and Levert. So, and we could even move Levert, I believe, to the 3, and he would go up. So if we want to do that, we could do that. Let's see. He goes up to an 80. So you know what? We'll go ahead and do it. Levert's going to play some more backup 3 as well. 80 overall. This will be our rotation for the rest of the season. Hopefully this team can go over the top. Second seed in the East right now. Let's go win a championship. So at the end of this season, we actually get Executive of the Year with Gregor Evans, and we don't get Coach of the Year, but Executive does go to us, which is nice. Had nobody making like the awards here, but hoping to see Scottie Barnes and Giddey in All-NBA teams again. So Barnes does make an All-NBA second team, which is great. And Giddey is on an All-NBA third team. So we're only the second seed. So I'm curious to see. It was Philadelphia who was above us. They ended up being 60 and 22. So we actually tied. They just had the tiebreakers. So here are your player stats, though. 29 from Barnes, 23 from Giddey, 15, 14, 10, 9, 8, 8, and 8. So obviously, I'm hoping to dominate the East once again, get back to the finals. Memphis is not even in the playoff picture this time around, and that is the team that beat us in the finals. Oklahoma City does exist, obviously, as we know. But Indiana in round 1. They have Bobby Portis now. They have Mathurin, Halliburton still. Edwards is there. With somebody current round, we lose game 1, but we're going to win the rest, and we beat them in 5. Let's go. Great start. Now we get the Pistons, who have, obviously, Kawhi now. Not obvious, but that's there. Kate Cunningham, Ivy, Bagley, Duran, Asar, Bazelis, Morris, Isaiah Stewart. This one's going to be a little tougher, but we're up 3-1. And we beat them in 6. Yes. All right. Win the conference finals again. And we don't have to deal with Philadelphia, which was the team that was the first seed. Now we get Charlotte. So they got LaMelo, Kyrie Irving. Okay. Interesting. Kyrie goes to Charlotte. I don't know about that one. But Brandon Miller, Washington, Mark Williams, Rozier, Okogie, Nick Richards. It's a solid team in Charlotte, but we do win game 1. Game 2, 2-0. So far, so good. And we are going to sweep the Hornets. We're back in the finals. So dominate the East once again, like we did last year. But now we get to play the Thunder. And obviously we took Giddey from them, so this should be pretty interesting. Conference Finals MVP goes to Giddey. Averaged 31 in the final, or Conference Finals. And now we get Shea on the other side. So Shea, Casey Wallace, Dort Williams, Chet, Ron Holland, Davion Mitchell, Grady Dick, and Jalen Williams. All right. Game 1, 1-0 goes to them. We're going to lose to the West again, bro. Okay, we even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4, huge game 5. Huge game 5. Very pivotal. At home in Toronto. Let's not screw this up, man. Take care of business at home. Let's try to get this going for us. Okay. So close. It's really close at the end. Now we need to take the lead. Can we take it is the question. We do at the very end. Let's go. We have the game 5 victory. That was big. Game 6 to go win this championship. Don't have to worry about a game 7. Can we do that? We have a great lead so far. I think we might have done it, boys. We're blowing them out in Oklahoma City, embarrassing them. And just like that, we've completed it. 37 from Barnes in that closeout game, averages 29 in the playoffs. Giddey averages what? 23. So Barnes was the guy. He should be the conference final, or should be the finals MVP. And just like that, he was. So we completed our task of building around Scottie Barnes, and I'm happy with how the video went. So these videos are a lot of fun, man. Go ahead, guys, in the comment section below. Pick another guy. I don't know. I think we might have found something, because this video, like, I'm having a lot of fun doing these because it's kind of unorthodox. Again, Barnes is someone that easily could be built around in real life. So if there's like another guy out there that like, you know, is interesting, like, I don't know if I can think of anybody right now, but let's say like, I don't know, for instance, like Shaden Sharp's having a good season. Like, I don't know, I don't know how I would do that though, because Scoot's really good in the simulation. Do I have to trade Scoot Henderson? Like, I don't know, that sounds weird, but like just anybody, like maybe even like DeAndre Ayton has a weird who's having a good season, something like that. I think could be a lot of fun. But if you guys have anybody in mind that you think could be a lot of fun, it could be like a role player that could boost up his stats, and we can go with that kind of type of video. Like, I think we found some, because you guys enjoyed yesterday's. I'm assuming you'll enjoy today's. Just let me know. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.